What's going on, you guys? My name's Lloyd, bringing you practical and actionable dating advice that really works, not some mainstream bullshit. Today we're going to be talking about how to get girls in college. I actually have some students that are doing this and they are killing it, but I was not killing it when I was in college. When I was in college, I didn't have a whole lot of success, so this is exactly what I would have done if I could go back and do it all again. So this is a step-by-step process. A couple things before I get into the step-by-step process. First of all, if you guys watch a lot of pickup videos, okay, cold approach does not work in college. Don't do it. It's more or less about your reputation and your popularity that's really going to get you the girls. A lot of people are still figuring themselves out, and so what they're doing is they're looking towards what other people are looking for, okay? Chances are if a girl doesn't know you, it's much less likely that she's going to hook up with you. There's a good chance when you're an adult and people who are confident in themselves, but when you're in college, it's probably not going to happen. So a lot of this is geared towards that. The truth is, when it comes to college, a lot of guys are unsuccessful. They don't get a lot of girls, but there's like a top 5 or even like 1% of guys that get all of them. And I'm going to teach you how to be in that top 5%, or even better, top 1%. So when you first get into college, or when you're coming back from your year, usually they have this thing called Welcome Week. Welcome Week usually has a lot of events, a lot of schedules, clubs, organizations are in there, okay? Go to all of these events. When I was in college, I got that sheet of all the things that were happening during Welcome Week, and I freaking threw it out the window and just got drunk every single day. Don't do that. Go to all of these events. This is how you're going to meet people. This is how you're going to start relationships. I know people are going to be having fun a lot at the beginning. You're going to be partying. A lot of people are going to be getting laid, and you're going to be hearing about all of this. You're going to be getting a lot of fear of missing out. Don't worry about that yet. In fact, don't even worry about getting laid for the first part of this exercise. You need to concentrate on establishing relationships first. We're playing the long game, not the short game. Step 2 is join as many clubs and organizations as you can. So from these events, from these things that start happening in the first week of school, join a lot of them. Your schedule should be full, man. You shouldn't be just waddling around, sitting at home playing Warcraft or something like that. You should be out. You should be talking to people. I would recommend highly that if you can join a fraternity, that's a really great place. You're going to be meeting so many people in a fraternity that you wouldn't meet otherwise. And that's the number one reason why people join the Greek system. Now, don't get discouraged if you can't join a Greek fraternity, okay? I know joining a top house is probably the best thing that you can do. I mean, being part of a top house alone will get you laid. But even if you're part of one that's kind of nerdy, kind of smaller, kind of not as popular, you can still do a lot of damage from there. I mean, I know tons of guys. I was actually part of a fraternity that was pretty nerdy in college. And I remember there was one guy who like slept with hundreds of women, and he was just getting, if there was a hot girl in our house, which there were, even though we were a small house, you still get hot girls coming in, he could get her. Like, that's just the way it was. So I'm teaching you guys how to be like that guy, being a big fish in a small pond. Sometimes it's even better to be like that. Once you join these groups or organizations, try and be involved in the club. Be involved in whatever organization you're in, okay? Have a leadership position. You know, one of my students right now is recruitment chair, and I can tell you that he is really liking that position, okay? Even though it's a lot of work and there's a lot of things that talk to a lot of people, it's such a benefit to be in a leadership position, guys. So be in as many of them as you can. At least that you're somebody in this organization. And you're doing stuff a lot and you're working with people all the time. That's what's really going to establish relationships and meet a lot of people. Step 3 is make friends with all different kinds of people, okay? You should be meeting people who are super academically inclined that never go out and party. You should be meeting people that party all the time. You should be meeting like the sketchiest people too. Sometimes those are really important people to have. I mean, they can get you alcohol, they can get you into like crazy events and stuff like that. And if you don't think those commodities matter in college, well, you probably aren't in it. You're going to be meeting people in all of these different groups. And it's important to just be friendly and nice to everybody. Have this positive vibe, you know? And that brings me to step number 4, which is remember people's names and greet them and have a short conversation with them, okay? I used to think it was not cool to remember people's names because if I didn't remember the name and they remembered my name, that would make me cooler than them, right? Wrong. That's the stupidest thing. People want other people to remember their name. And a lot of times in college, people are nervous and they will act really insecure and they will do shit like that. If you remember somebody's name and they don't remember yours, keep calling them by their name, and eventually they'll either ask through somebody else or they'll try and learn yours. Somebody's name is their favorite sound. And if you're able to say that a lot, well, chances are they're probably going to like you. So if you encounter someone that, I don't know, maybe somebody who's part in your class, maybe someone who you met at an event, just you see them in the hallway, you say, hey, Mike, how's it going? Like, how's everything going? How's that thing that you were doing earlier? Oh, cool, awesome, man. Well, what are you doing later? Actually, we're having an event later this week. You should come through. Okay, that's a typical, cool conversation by a guy who's well connected and everybody likes. You should be having a lot of those different conversations. Be catching up with people, remember their names, remember certain things about them. Eventually what's going to happen is that all of these people that you meet, that you have short conversations with, it's going to build up and build up and build up, and people are just going to like you. You're just going to be a well-liked, popular guy. Also too, when you're having these short conversations with people, you need to also be establishing stronger connections. The way you establish stronger connections, and this brings me to my fifth step, which is be doing projects with multiple people, okay? In your club, in your organization, let's say you're part of a bunch of different clubs, you're going to be doing a lot of projects with different people. Doing projects where you have a shared goal is really how you establish a strong connection and make a really good friend. If you just see somebody and you kind of just shoot the shit every now and then when you see him in class, that's not a strong relationship. That guy might not invite you to a party, or that girl might not come to your party. Who will is someone who you're doing projects. Step 6 is, okay, what do you actually do to get the girls? Okay, now that you're really popular, you're very well known, and a lot of people are talking about you. Okay, how do you actually get the girls? What is going to be your conduct towards them? Well, if you see a girl that you really like, okay, don't pursue her super hard. If you pursue a girl really hard in college, she's gonna think something's wrong with you, and she's probably gonna think that you're not a great catch. Okay, remember, girls are insecure. They're just looking to see what other people are doing. So you got to be a little bit more casual about it. You got to be a little bit more open and free to get a different response. Okay. Step 7 is make sure you invite them to events. Invite them to, so let's say you're having a conversation, you see a girl that's cute in your class, or you see a girl in the hallway, you say, hey, what's up, I'm Lloyd, how's it going? Yeah, I think we have that together. What's your major? What are you doing? Oh, cool, that's awesome. Cool, listen, we have an event coming this Friday, it's a themed party, you should definitely roll through. Yeah, okay, cool, I'll send you the details, let me get your phone number. Cool, bam, done, really easy. Okay, that's a typical conversation. Invite them to events. In my experience, dates don't really work that well in college. They just don't. Women are really, it's gonna put too much pressure on them. They're just gonna wanna get out of that situation, okay? So invite them to a party where they have the option to either go with you, or maybe there's somebody else they like at the party, but usually they'll end up going for you because you're the one who invited them. But that's really the way that you do it, okay? Is invite them to events where you guys can socialize, they can talk to a bunch of people, there's not a whole lot of pressure. You're probably gonna need to invite them to like 3 or 4 events before they show up, so don't get discouraged if people don't show up to your events immediately. Don't be like, oh, well, no one came to this, or she didn't come one time, so I'm never inviting people again. No, you have to do this repeatedly, okay? This is gonna take some work, okay? I would say you probably need to invite a girl 3 or 4 things before she shows up. And even if she doesn't show up, it's almost a plus for you. It's a plus for you because there's shit going on. You have things happening, and if she's not attending, well, that's on her, but you're a well-connected, well-rounded guy. Once they come to this event, once they show up, how do you handle this? Okay, well, first of all, you should invite a ton of people to your events. Like if you have events happening, I would be telling a bunch of people, planting seeds everywhere, as they call them, and see if it grows. And so I would invite tons of people, like invite 20 girls, or invite 20 girls from 20 different groups to your party, and see who shows up. And for the girls that show up, like let's say you get 5 or 6 girls that that show up, which is great. Don't be hanging off them the whole time. I would greet them, I would introduce them to a bunch of people, I would show them around. All of this stuff really helps you. You're showing that you're in a position of authority, you're showing them different things. That's really attractive to a woman, a guy who's well connected, a guy who knows a lot of people, a guy who's involved. They want to be with a guy who's like that, and you show that to them immediately as soon as they walk in, okay? And again, don't hang off of them the whole time. I would be going around talking to different people, This is your party, that you have things to do, people to talk to. If you can be doing something at the party, like bartending, or maybe it's an event where you're just running things or something like that, you help plan it, then that's a really good position to be in too. Because again, it's a position of authority as well. And you're not going to be putting too much pressure on her to like do things, and she can kind of take the time to like watch you and decide if she likes you. And chances are, if you're doing the right things, she probably will. Okay, step number 9 is see which girls at this event are hanging around you. Okay, I call this proximity. If a girl really likes you, she's probably going to be kind of looking over. She's probably going to be hanging around nearby you conveniently. And then see which girls are doing this consistently. And the ones that are, pick the one that you like the most, and then tap her on the shoulder, have a quick conversation with her. Actually use the techniques that I talk about on this channel. If you're wondering about how to handle this type of situation, check out my How to Talk to Girls playlist. It's a great place to start. So once you start doing this, you're having a good conversation, maybe if your friends leave or something like that, okay, now this brings you to step 10, which is find a place where you guys can be alone that's close by, okay? The great thing about college is 9 times out of 10 the party's right at your house or it's at a fundraiser across the street. Things are really, really close in college. And so this makes for a very convenient location if you guys want to hook up or do whatever, okay? So that's why college is really great, because actually in college, I would say girls are less likely to want to hook up with you on average, but because the logistics are so good, like there's just no parents around for the first time, or like your room is literally at the party, like it just makes it so convenient. All right, so those are my 10 steps, you guys. And remember, when you're having conversations with girls or when this is happening to you, it's not going to be something incredible. Like, you're not going to come up with some crazy funny line. You're not going to have a really engaging conversation with somebody 9 times out of 10. People in college are still trying to figure themselves out. They usually have poor social skills, okay? And so don't expect some magic to happen out of nowhere. And also, too, guys, I'm going to put this at the end. If you do this right, if you do the things that I'm telling you in this video over a sustained period of time, towards the end, if you do this if you did this hard for like 6 months, at the end of that 6 months or at the end of the year, you're going to be a completely different person. Like, you're going to have so many girls coming up to you and talking to you and wanting to sleep with you that you're not going to know what to do with them. Like, I'm serious, this is really going to happen. But at the beginning, you're obviously going to be, it's going to be a lot of work. You're probably not going to be getting laid that much. You're probably not going to be getting on, that many girls that want to sleep with you. At the beginning, that's fine. Remember, we're playing the long game here, okay? And a lot of guys that go for short-term success prevent themselves from succeeding long-term. Don't be that guy. And when you are that guy, please, for the love of God, there are enough 19-year-old douchebags running around. Don't treat women like shit, okay? If you hook up with a girl, be nice to her. Don't lie to her. Don't make her feel bad. Be nice to everyone. Having a positive experience from you will really make a difference in her life and in yours too. If you're making people feel good consistently, you're gonna feel a lot better about yourself, okay? Because guys, when you're 19, like, you can be pretty selfish and pretty mean to people, and there's enough bad people like that in the world. So yeah, just with great power comes great responsibility is what I'm saying. Anyway, if you guys made it to the end, consider subscribing. I come up with videos like this every single week. If you're interested in my weekly one-on-one mentorship program, shoot me an email at TheSingleGuy2017@gmail.com. Like I said, I got a couple guys in this that are in college that are implementing exactly what I'm telling you right now, and they are killing it. So if you're a guy in college who has a little bit of money, please hit me up. I'm also going to be covering too post-college and later adult life, kind of how you should conduct yourself, how to get girls in those age brackets. So if you have any other situations that you'd like me to cover, please put them in the comment section below. Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck out there.